Let me now take you across live to my colleague Shubhendu Ghosh joining us from outside the White House in Washington DC, and I can see Amrit Pal, my other colleague, is also with him. Shubhendu, the much anticipated meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump is still some time off, but I believe the Prime Minister has been already having quite a busy day there in Blair House.
That's right, Gautam. Important bilateral meetings with the different department heads are taking place. He just met Elon Musk a short while ago. Elon Musk had called on Prime Minister with his family. He heads the Department of Efficiency now, which is going to be significant in the manner in which India and US engage. We're right in front of the White House. If we can give you a glimpse of the manner in which this iconic building is glowing, some weather update. It's been very cold here and cloudy. The clouds have just parted and it's just beginning to get sunny. Let's hope it stays that way. And that big meeting, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump, takes place in a short while from now, post-lunch around 4 p.m. Local time. Host of issues in focus. Amrit?
Oh, that's right. Ahead of the meeting, as you said, the bilateral meetings right now, Gautam, 3 bilaterals have taken place yesterday. Soon after he arrived, he met Tulsi Gabbard, the newly confirmed Director of National Intelligence. She is effectively the spy chief of the United States, heading about a dozen of spy agencies of the United States. And he met her this morning. He met the first meeting that he had was with the National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, which the Prime Minister tweeted and talked about how the two sides, the two leaders discussed defense technology, AI, semiconductors, and he's met Elon Musk. We would know what details, but we do know that he came with his 3 little children to meet the Prime Minister. In fact, if you remember, his son had made quite a news when he had gone to meet Donald Trump at the White House. So, both J.D. Vance and Elon Musk are normalizing getting their children to workplaces and at important meetings, which are generally formal meetings. He meets Vivek Ramaswamy, an entrepreneur and a Republican politician, before he comes here at the White House at about 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to meet with President Donald Trump. Gautam.
Also, Gautam, it's importantly, these meetings have to be seen in the context of a whole new administration at every level, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump would look to, at least to begin with, to flesh out a roadmap in the manner in which the two countries are going to engage and what will be the common priorities. So that could be one of the highlights when that joint statement comes out later in the evening.
Certainly. And Shubhendu, let's put this in context and see it how the relationship has progressed. When President Trump had come to the White House the first time around in 2017, Prime Minister Modi was one of the first leaders again to meet him, and the first, in fact, to be hosted for a dinner at the White House by President Trump. And at that time, President Trump had said that it's the relationship between India and the US is going strong, and Prime Minister Modi said there's a lot of convergence in President Trump's vision of MAGA as well as his vision of New India. So how will that convergence be taken forward today?
Absolutely. Those priorities that Make America Great Again and the New India carry in a similar manner, strengthening the capabilities, strengthening the people of the respective countries, India and America, through various policies. And also, as you mentioned, we have to also highlight the manner in which the close rapport, the close friendship between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Donald Trump had shaped India's engagement with America in the first term, and that is also something to be look out for when this first meeting takes place of Prime Minister Narendra Modi with President Donald Trump in his new administration. That personal rapport, that friendship at the top plays a key role in also bringing in a lot of synergy and efficiency in the manner in which administrations and nations work together. So that continues to remain one of the highlights, Amrit.
Yes, but we have to understand, Gautam, that Trump 2.0 is very different from his first term. his priorities are different. Of course, Prime Minister Modi is here to pick up the threads from the relationship, the two countries shared under their leadership when Trump was the president the last time around. But there is also a realization that, the relationship needs rebalancing, the relationship needs reset, the relationship needs readjustment. So, because the Trump priorities, for example, on tariffs, he's the moment he came in fact, even before he was sworn in, he started in his campaign, he started talking about tariff diplomacy, using words like an eye for an eye and a tariff for a tariff. Now that he's expected to sign the executive order on reciprocal tariffs, there is understandably concern in countries around the world, including in India. Today afternoon, when Prime Minister Modi and President Trump sit across the table, they will be addressing this issue in a very open manner, where they would want to utilize their bonhomie, but then also protect their own country's interests. I think Prime Minister Modi would be clearly expressing to President Trump that we understand your changed priorities in your second term. We are ready to readjust. We are ready to give in concessions on certain things, maybe 8 to 9 areas where India is ready to give concessions, but the overall relationship has to be mutually beneficial. So you have to find a way, or we together have to find, or the two leaders or the two countries together have to find a way to increase the scope and the ambit of bilateral trade, increase it in terms of engagement, in terms of scaling it up, be it in health, be it in pharmaceuticals, be it in AI, be it in semiconductors, space, defense technology transfer, so that the overall trade grows and is mutually beneficial for both countries. Gautam.
Yes, certainly. And of course, if you talk about trade, at one time there was a goal of taking bilateral trade to the level of $500 billion. It's in the vicinity. I mean, it's creeping closer to $200 billion right now, but it just tells you the scope is much, much more. And in terms of India's aspirations of becoming a developed nation by 2047, a lot of what the US has to offer could come in handy. And similarly, the US's own goal to remain the supreme economy in the world, the topmost economy in the world, and the topmost power, that is something that can be furthered by enhancing cooperation with India, because they have someone in common who is not seen very favorably by either side. Shubhendu.
That's right, Gautam. In fact, we have to see these convergences, particularly in the area of new and emerging technologies. Prime Minister in his two-nation visit is just coming from France, where he attended the Global AI Summit. The Vice President of America was also there. The West, America in particular, has also raised concerns about the manner in which China is making progress and how they would also want to make their facilities very competitive. In that sense, the partnership, the trade, the connect between India and the United States becomes hugely significant. There has to be a partnership there. There has to be investments in one another's countries. India, remember, has also taken a step towards creating a semiconductor ecosystem within the country, so that it becomes an important player in the global supply chain of these critical chips and technologies, which is driving the AI revolution. In that sense, yes, the cooperation in these domains become hugely significant. They also then reflect in the overall trade volumes, which has been on the increase. The tariff part is one of the anomalies that will have to be dealt with by both the countries. As Amrit mentioned, there are different ways of dealing with it. You increase the trade volume, then you can also tackle the trade deficit. Also significantly, particularly from the tariff question, Amrit, it is to be seen that 30 most important imports and exports, imports in particular that India does from America, in fact does not, 30% of it does not fall into a very high tariff bracket. So in that sense, it won't be right to assume that the concerns, the grievances against countries that President Trump has put forth vis-a-vis tariff applies uniformly to all the products that India exchanges with the United States. And therefore, what happens between them in that exchange, what comes out in the final statement, that fine print, would be hugely significant. Gautam?
And also, Gautam, if I may add, at the risk of sounding pessimistic, but though that's not my objective, the idea is to bring in realism here, give a realistic perspective. Say, for example, his policy about America First. It is in conflict with, say, Make in India. He wants production to happen here. He wants jobs to get created here. That's the mandate that he's got, and overwhelming. So he has to, give that to his constituency. I think when Prime Minister Modi and President Trump sit here today, they would India would very clearly convey to the Americans that they understand the American concerns, but there could be areas where both countries have their strengths. There could be, in terms of, say, technology transfer, there could be production happening in both countries. They do not need to be at cross purposes. If certain production, if they have strength, they are way ahead of us, of India, in, say, critical technologies, in cutting edge research, which India is not. So India wants to become a research hub of the world, but there can be a give and take where jobs are created here, but cooperation, it leads to cooperation because there is enough fish in the sea. The ambitious program of India becoming a developed country does offer a lot of opportunities for American companies to come and invest in India without harming the interests of the United States. So I think that is the space the two leaders would be trying to explore. It is quite unlike what, as Shubhendu mentioned, China. They are not at loggerheads. Their interests converge, be it when it comes to strategic partnership or the Indo-Pacific. So in the larger context, your interests converge. On the divergences, you have to see that how you can skip them, or you can do a bit of give and take and work around them. Gautam.
All right, let's see how it goes. Not much time left now to find out really how things will shape up. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment, both Amrit as well as Shubhendu.